Just wanted to let that, just wanted to share that with our wonderful, beautiful people and our listeners. The Out of Bounds Show, agup.com, text line 601-885-3776. We are the Out of Bounds Show. This is ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I am your host, Bo Bounds. Show took a little bit of a turn this week as Pete Rose passed away and Chris Christopherson. And those are guys that these are guys with amazing accomplishments in sports and or entertainment, but also guys, right?
Real guys, yeah.
Big time guys. And I mean, Chris Christopherson, Rhodes Scholar, but could walk in CS's this afternoon. Order a Budweiser and a chili cheeseburger. He could be sitting by, on one side a painter and on the other side a stockbroker. Never miss a beat. Right? And, of course, Pete was blue-collar manufacturing Americana. Industrial age, all that. People, and I know there's still a lot of that, but there's this segment that's been created that isn't, and both are great. But I mean, he was very lunch pail, 8 to 5 guy who was going to work at General Electric and coming home, and a wonderful person and providing for his family and trying to give his kids something better. And the only thing he wanted was to listen to the Cincinnati Reds. I mean, and to wet a hook on the weekend, which is a beautiful thing.
You think he ever rolled his sleeves up and got into a tussle?
Absolute. Well, first of all, Pete Rose got into plenty, but yes, this guy that I just described, that loved Pete Rose starting in the 60s, and that's what got him. I mean, you have to remember, man, sports and music, food, get-togethers, those are what get people to the next day and to the next week as they're doing what they have to do to get where they want to go to provide for their family. And Pete Rose was, Americana, some meat on the grill, a casserole, a cold beer, a cold Budweiser in 1970, watching the Cincinnati Reds come of age. And that's wonderful. Or when you got to wet a hook with your friend, when you weren't working all the time at the manufacturing plant, you broke down the Reds. That's why sports is so. And when you listen to music and it helps you get through, or you may go share a movie with a friend, whatever it is, that's what gets you through. Or a neighborhood cookout, which, I mean, it's not like we don't have them today. We do.
Sure.
But that was at a time when, they had one TV in the house.
Yeah.
3 channels or so. No phones, no computers. And you sat on the front porch or the back porch, and you talked about Pete Rose and Johnny Bench. It's nothing wrong with it.
No, that's what you did. That's what you had to do.
And a lot of it was through radio.
Right.
Because you didn't get all the games. I mean, you didn't even get close to all the games.
And they were on
And once or twice a year, you and your buddy took the family because, trying to make ends meet. You took the family. Let's say you lived 60 miles outside of Cincinnati working in a manufacturing facility, which is it's a great job.
Yeah.
You took the family to a day or two of Reds games.
Right.
And that was
it.
And then, you may have gone to a state park.
Yeah.
Another week.
Fair.
The fair.
Oh, starts tomorrow.
That's why Pete resonated. Does the fair really start tomorrow?
Yeah, it starts tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, you're guaranteed. What's the over? Let me switch gears. And that's why Pete Rose resonates with people. We are the Out of Bounds Show. I got a question. Remember that I want to ask you a question.
I got you.
We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're brought to you by the SEC Insider Hit this morning. Is brought to you by the Purple Mattress. from Muskelly Furniture in Starkville, Mississippi on Highway 12, from Muskelly Furniture in Pearl, and from all the Muskelly sleep stores. No other mattress can compare. I slept on a purple mattress from Muskelly last night, and the reason is simple. Nobody else has their grid, which Jackson Meadows knows. It doesn't trap heat, adapts to your body. It's temperature neutral material, instantly flexes to your every move, perfectly adapting to support your body. Powered by the purple mattress from any of the Muskelly furniture stores, including the new one in Starkville, or Muskelly sleep stores. Good morning. Welcome. Oh, and by the way, if you need a sectional, sofa, dining room table, bar stools, y'all know the drill. That's all presented and powered by Muskelly Furniture. We're live in the BankPlus Studio. Want to say good morning. Good morning. Welcome in. The show has taken a little bit of a turn between Pete Rose passing away, because Rose is one of the first, I think he's the first baseball player that I remember. I know I've talked about Ricky Henderson and Dale Murphy and Tony Gwynn and those guys, and Lee Smith with the Cubs, and those guys meant the world to me, among others. And I ended up with 15,000 baseball cards at one point, and I loved them. And I loved, baseball, and I loved watching the Cubs and the Braves. And to have that access in 82, 83, 84 in Jackson, Mississippi, gave you an idea that there was a bigger world, right, and that there was something else out there, and that, all that. And so for me, yeah, Sandberg, Murph, Glenn Hubbard, Bedrock, Sutcliffe, and Benedict and Grace and Say and all those wonderful guys. And then you got to see all the teams that they played. So we were all, like you, very NL heavy. Now, the game of the week, you had to see what was going on, right? I mean, you could get Yankees, Red Sox, and like I said, the Reds still had some juice. The Phillies came of age when Pete Rose went over there in the early 80s, or in 1980, I guess. Because I saw that unbelievable picture last night that Dale Murphy posted. And I'm sitting there looking at this picture before I go to bed. I'm outside in my yard grounding. And I'm looking at this picture that Dale Murphy posted of Pete Rose on the back end of his career, and Dale Murphy at the Braves, and congratulating him on one of his many accomplishments, and then also an all-star pick. I think it was 1980. Murph got to visit with him. I don't know how many people they got together, but Dale Murph got to visit with Rose on Sunday in Nashville. Rose, I guess, was at a hospital. I saw Tony Perez and others there with him. So my point is, we're usually football. This time, well, we're usually football almost all the time, but this time of year, definitely. But Pete Rose is so big. And because of the scandal, because of his accomplishments,
Right.
And a World Series champion.
Yes.
More than once with more than one team.
Right.
And the hit king, and because he, again, resonated with blue-collar manufacturing America. And I'm telling you, I'm not sure another athlete, and we've had some that have been in that space, has ever connected and resonated as much with coming out of World War II, the manufacturing and industrial age boom, as Pete Rose. And then on top of that, they won. I mean, it wasn't just that he was awesome.
Right.
They won. Y'all know that with the big red machine. And then he went to the Phillies and won a World Series, because we played that interview with Larry Boa when we had Boa on earlier this year. And then I think Chris Christopherson was the same way. Dude just wore he just looked cool. Threw on some boots, some jeans, untucked shirt, way before it became trendy again 15 years ago.
Right.
And he was just Chris Christopherson, but he was a Rhodes Scholar, attended the University of Oxford.
It's crazy.
Where he excelled at boxing and rugby. He attained the rank of captain in the United States Army.
Dang.
He completed Ranger School. Was also a helicopter pilot.
Sheesh.
He moved to Nashville in 1965 and started sweeping the floors at Columbia Recording Studios. We're all familiar with Columbia.
No way.
Okay, he met June Carter. Who was June Carter married to? Marty Stewart. Where's Marty Stewart from? Philadelphia, Mississippi. Why does Marty know all the highwaymen and everybody else? Because he joined up with Johnny Cash as a teenager, but he met June Carter there, and he gave her a tape of him singing. She gave it to her dad, Johnny Cash, but he just put it with a bunch of others. After not hearing anything for a couple weeks, Chris Christopherson landed a helicopter on Johnny's property, finally getting his attention, which launched Chris Christopherson's musical career.
No way.
Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, and Chris all formed the Highwaymen in 1985.
That's wild.
In addition to his unbelievable music career, he was also a prolific actor. He's a Renaissance man, appearing in over 100 TV shows and films. He was awarded with the Country Music Lifetime Achievement Award, the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, and was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2004. So that's why the show's kind of pivoted this week, because these guys, very Americana. And again, and by the way, they resonated with the same generation. Again, it was the man who came home after 8 to 10, 12-hour shift at the manufacturing facility who wanted to listen to Chris Christopherson play music, have an ice-cold Budweiser with his friend across the street who came home from his manufacturing facility. And, they were lucky enough to buy a house after probably serving in the armed forces. And they threw some bologna on the grill or pork chops, and they talked about Cincinnati Reds or Chris Christopherson or whatever. That's the deal, and that's what's powerful, and that's what's beautiful. Sports, music, food.
We're leaving
What do we do?
one thing out.
What?
Unfortunately, one more passing over the weekend. Hakeem, the dream.
Oh, a lot. No.
Dikembe.
Mutombo. Yeah, you ruined that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dikembe.
Yeah, Dikembe. But he played at Georgetown and so on. But a little bit different deal here that we're talking about as far as generational guys and accomplishments. Although I hate that he passed away, and I very much remember him at Georgetown following Patrick Ewing and Alonzo Mourning. That trio, I mean, they just had big men and dominant big men at the collegiate level.
That was George. They all went to Georgetown?
They did.
Wait, say that again?
So Ewing went to Georgetown. Zoe went to. Remember, I wrote Zoe in high school. I wasn't in high school. I was in 6th or 7th grade because Billy Owen and Alonzo Mourning were the number 1 and number 2 players in the country, and one went to Syracuse and one went to Georgetown.
I remember you. I remember talking about you writing that,
Right.
which is dope.
It makes me awesome.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Other kids weren't doing that.
no,
Right.
no, absolutely not.
Yeah. They were picking their nose watching Flintstones. I was getting cool autographs. It's probably another one of the many reasons why I'm doing this show today.
Absolutely is. Wait,
Remember, I wrote Chris Jackson
yeah,
also, and got his autograph.
Who do you think dialing back to that? Who was like one of the biggest people you wrote to?
Well, I didn't write to pro players.
Smart.
So, I mean, hindsight, I should have.
Yeah,
That was back when you would get pretty much anything you requested. Yeah, I mean,
What?
they would whoever was in the front office or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was a different world. So the money
Right.
and I mean, my God, we've got, So it's just a different world where people would actually go to the player and you'd get I mean, I think you could have. My point is this: I think you could have written the Oakland A's in 1982,
Sure.
and received Ricky Henderson's autograph. Hindsight, I should have. You could have written the Chicago Cubs,
Really?
and received, Sandberg, Lee Smith, and Rick Sutcliffe's autograph. You could have written the Atlanta Braves, and Dale, eventually a media person,
Like eventually.
would have gotten a Dale Murphy, gotten the autograph, and mailed it to you.
Really?
Yes.
Never today. Never in a million years, right?
No, because that's not how it works.
Yeah.
No.
That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
They just mail it in and boom. Should have mailed it.
Oh, Nick wrote the Dodgers in '88 and got a signed photo of Tommy Lasorda.
There's no way.
And Steve Sachs.
No way.
Remember when Steve Sachs had the yips?
Oh, the yips.
Do you remember that? You don't. You weren't alive.
Nope.
So Steve Sachs played second base for the Dodgers, and I still don't understand how he couldn't throw it to first base.
But he could at one point.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously was able to make it up through the minor leagues.
Yeah.
So you have to be, you have to have a lot of production in single A,
Sure.
A, double A, and triple A to make it. So he made it up and then threw it in, like, from me to you.
No.
Couldn't throw it to first base.
So, I mean, like the yips. Like he had the.
And look, if he would have been playing this day and age, or in the last 10 years, really the last, 5-10 years, I mean, crucified. Because back then it was just, you could watch whatever it is, WKCBI
Nice.
of Dodgers highlights, okay? But, SportsCenter was not rolling quite at that point like it was 7-8 years after his yips.
Right.
With Dan Patrick and Olbermann and all those guys. This all stemmed from whether or not Rob Dibble drinks wine. Because Rob Dibble's the guy that you see at Martin's downtown this afternoon who wants to smash an ice cold Budweiser and talk about war stories. And we were discussing whether or not Rob Dibble drinks wine, and we don't see it. But now Cigar Aficionado has done several articles as of recently, like they featured LeBron and Steph and all these guys because, so many people are getting into vino that didn't before. I mean, look, man, if you played for the Cowboys in the 70s, you drank cold beer. Right? D.D. Lewis. Or Mean Joe Green. Right?
Did Rob Dibble get fired for he may have gotten fired for having a beverage while he was coaching.
While he was coaching?
Yeah, high school team.
Really?
If this is factual, which I'm about to verify, he's already in my Hall of Fame because of the slider. It'd embarrass you. It was. That was the first guy that actually saw with a dominant slider that I can remember whenever I was growing up.
Oh, that you can remember.
Right.
Yeah. I was about to say that. It had been around.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But
so Dibble was the first guy
that I can just with a power slider. When he came in, he had two pitches. He was going to throw it fast. It was a fastball or slider. Your choice.
Okay.
I
just want you to know that we were celebrating Pete Rose and Chris Christopherson, and you threw out somebody that passed away that didn't pass away.
Yeah,
and just totally had no idea what in the hell you were talking about.
I was wondering. I was like, what did Hakeem? There's no way. And then as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, yeah, that wasn't him. It was Mutombo. I saw this sun in my face and in my head. I was like, that doesn't
And of
look
course,
like
you didn't read anything about it.
Nah, Lord, no. I read what his kid wrote, which was nice, which was good.
Oh, was it a good tribute?
It was. It was very good.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
But
really good.
I'm sitting here talking about Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, that guy. Man.
And Pete Rose.
Yeah, Dikembe's right in the same area.
And you throw out something that didn't happen.
Right.
and then really weren't able to pivot very well.
Now, we went to oh dude, the Kimbe's, yeah. He put that country on his back.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he's a Republic of Congo. He meant, yeah, that's where I was going with it. He meant to the Congo.
Oh, what Chris Christopherson and Pete Rose meant to several generations of Americans.
That's where I was going.
Okay. All right. I just had to make sure that we were on the same page. The agup.com text line is 601-885-3776. That's driven by your next John Deere tractor from any Ag Up equipment dealership. I would like for y'all to weigh in on Jackson's impact in this segment, trying to tie in some other things, just kind of the way that he tried to jump in and tie something in with the passing away of Chris Christopherson and Pete Rose. Please hit us up on the text line, 601-885-3776. Yes, this is Mac on the text line. Said Othello Harrington played at Georgetown too.
Dang, yeah.
I played in an AAU team with him. Yes, I played in pickup game with. I grew up in Bellhaven on Pinehurst. Ended up in a pickup game. We graduated the same year of high school. It's when I realized I wasn't good at basketball, and I'm very, very aware that Othello picked Georgetown over Mississippi State because Robert Kirby thought that he had him. And then something happened when everybody went to sleep.
What do you mean?
I don't know. We are the Out of Bounds Show. Are you looking to buy hunting land? Call Ryan Drew, United Country, Southern States Realty. Find your dream recreational hunting property. Call Ryan Drew today, 601-594-2279. Ryan Drew with United Country, Southern States Realty. Are you looking to buy hunting land or your dream recreational hunting property? Call Ryan Drew today with United Country, Southern States Realty.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
Are you ready?
Now live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the BankPlus Studio.
Are listening to
Mississippi's #1 sports talk show, The Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Streaming worldwide live on the Out of Bounds radio app and on your radio at ESPN 105.9. The Zone.
Oh, man. I say good morning. We say good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Brought to you by Kessler Prime and the Renaissance. Fabulous steaks, great bourbon and wine list. KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app. The Mississippi State University Bulldogs are... They are off this weekend. And Ole Miss will head to Columbia, South Carolina, and play the South Carolina Gamecocks. Can't wait to see which way y'all go on that game. It's now Ole Miss laying 9. That line has moved all up, down, everywhere. And it's early. That line was nuts on Sunday. Ole Miss laying 9. A touchdown and a field goal. Okay? That is a 2:30 ESPN game. Boom. Game day's in Cal Berkeley. They still don't know why yet, but it's in Cal Berkeley, and they'll play Miami. Cam Ward, their quarterback's had a hell of a season. But all eyes in this state, Ole Miss fans, a lot of Mississippi State fans, just a lot of Mississippians, will be tuned in to Ole Miss at South Carolina. And Jackson Dart, Henry Parrish Jr., Trey Harris, Walter Nolan, Lane Kiffin, Lane Train. Tough loss last weekend. You can bounce back.
It's because of what Dart wore pregame.
I saw that. I saw Ole Miss fans complaining about that on social media and the boards. I missed that. I don't know if I was.
Well, I think they were complaining about just the whole deal of not necessarily exactly what it wore, which is what I'm complaining about, but more so the fact that it never has an Ole Miss logo on it.
Oh, good Lord. See, none of that matters when you're winning.
That's a fact.
Nothing matters when you're winning.
That's a good point. That's a really good point because you weren't going to hear.
I mean, Lane. Lane had a great year last year. They go 11-2.
Yeah.
All during the offseason, we talked about Ole Miss and what they could do.
Yeah.
And they're still.
It's still
in front
there.
of them.
It's still there. There's a chance.
Yeah. But even if you go 10-2, you're not guaranteed going. And so, there's little to no room for error going forward.
No.
And you got back-to-back road games at South Carolina and at LSU. So, evidently Dart called a meeting on Sunday for the offense. They talked, and so on. People are still asking the question around what's going on with Bentley, the running back, why isn't he playing? I sent you that audio. Kiffin was like, really vague, like said, I can't predict the future.
Dodgy.
And so who knows there? Nobody can really get their brain wrapped around that. But the bottom line is Ole Miss is a 9-point favorite. That is still a ton of points on the road against South Carolina. And I don't know what's going to happen at South Carolina as far as their quarterback, Robbie Ashford or Lenoris. Lenoris is bigger, better, faster. Robbie Ashford is a nice college quarterback, I guess. He couldn't get it done at Auburn, hit the portal, and, I don't know. That South Carolina's not. They're average on offense, and they're not as good as Kentucky on defense, but they're pretty good. So I'd say if you want to look at their units, they're average on offense and pretty good on defense.
Yeah, I mean that's salty.
Yeah,
They're a salty team. A salty team that could definitely win that ball game.
They beat Old Dominion, and they beat Old Dominion by 4 points. Remember that was the first weekend I came back on the air and I went, Shane Beamer almost lost his job.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked up and it was 19-16. I think it was 15, 1916. Yeah, 1916. And I was going, what in the hell is going on? They beat Kentucky 31-6.
That's a big win.
And they lost to LSU 36-33. Y'all remember that's the game Lenoris went down on. Do y'all remember that game? It was a wild one. They could have easily won that game. They got hosed on definitely one call, but you could argue two.
Hosed.
And then they beat Akron. That's where Joe Moorhead is, and Joe Moorhead has the worst team in college football. He shouldn't have taken that job.
No, it's his fault.
He was determined to leave a seven-figure gig as offensive coordinator at Oregon to take the job at Akron instead of being just a little patient. And Joe could have gotten a good G5 job, whether he deserves it or not, just on his time at Penn State and Oregon as an OC. And, Mississippi State, he was solid. But, he inherited Fitz and Sweat and Simmons and Abram and Elton Jenkins and,
I'd have been solid too.
Yeah.
They just let Fitz run.
Yeah, well, he didn't want to win that way. That was his quote in the coach's room, because I know somebody that was in there.
How?
When he beat, I remember who he beat first, but he beat Auburn and A&M back-to-back.
Right.
He came in and he said, I don't want to win this way.
That's incredible.
When a coach does that, dude, you win however. It does not matter. It doesn't matter, but it had to be his off. He had gotten talked into going back to a lot of the zone read or power spread.
Right.
Whatever you want to call it. And then he didn't like it. He wanted to run whatever the hell he was trying to run. I still don't know what that was.
He didn't.
I know the plays took forever to. It was. I guess you can do that in the Big Ten when you have more talent at Penn State.
When no one's coming across the line.
Right.
Fast.
Northwestern, right? Rutgers, Indiana, Purdue. These aren't the same athletes that come off the edge down here. And they're not the same DBs, by the way, that are covering your receivers.
Right.
They're not even the same safeties that are maybe have to come down and help you in the slot. So
you've got all the time in the world to develop a play up there. In comparison to here, yeah.
I think there is something to that, because look at one, Penn State's been one of the most overrated programs
ever
in college football the last 25 years. Two, when you hear about some of their guys that come out, you're like, and? We talked about the quarterback. I can't remember his name.
Sorley?
No. Before that. Hackenberg. 5-star was supposed to be great. And I remember saying on the show that Dak Prescott was better than Christian Hackenberg.
I remember that.
People went nuts on the text line. Now, they may have been affiliated with a certain school, but they were like, you're dumb and you're crazy and you're an MSU homer, and that's fine. He didn't even get a cup of coffee in the NFL.
Not a cup. It was so bad.
He was a 5-star wonder stud. He wasn't even good at Penn State.
He was bad.
So I was sitting there going, well, if you can't be good at Penn State, then here's my question. How are you going to be good if you're with the Philadelphia Eagles or Pittsburgh Steelers or Washington Command? I don't know the game. I'm just trying to think here. How are you going to be good if you're with the Detroit Lions? If you're not really, really, really good in college. And usually you need to be playing uphill, like Dak and Eli and Rodgers and a bunch of other dudes. Mahomes. We are the Out of Bounds Show. We're brought to you by Superior Foundation. For all your foundation repairs, superior.ms.
Yeah.
He could handle Dibble and
Sure.
get out what get what you wanted out of him.
Right.
Now, did Dibble get fired or just leave ESPN? I don't know if he F-bombed somebody or that'd be interesting. We were talking about Lenoris Sellers earlier, the quarterback for South Carolina that's been hurt for a while. We'll see. We'll see. By the way, they have Rocket Sanders at South Carolina. He's a good back. And he came from Arkansas. Y'all don't, Ole Miss doesn't play South Carolina often. And we'll see what shakes out here over the next, couple of days as far as who they're going to play and so on. Robbie Ashford is their backup. He's average. Tom Luganville felt like if Ashford played, they wouldn't be good enough to win. Ole Miss laying 9. You going to lay 9? Or are you going to take it? Or are you going to stay away?
You got.
You going to tease it up?
You take that. You lay them.
You going to get 15?
I lay them. This is nothing short of a must-win ball game.
Oh, you just went there.
Yeah, it is.
I love that.
Well, you got to think.
Must win.
It is for what the expectations are, realistic or not. It's a must-win ball game.
True.
Your expectations are to go to the playoff and play for a championship.
Yeah, and you're a touchdown and a field goal favorite. So this game you have to win.
It's a must-win ball game. No question.
Because even though LSU's struggling, you got to go to Baton Rouge at night next weekend.
Right. And then flip, and then the next week you got.
They have a week off.
Okay, week off.
And then they go back to back to back conference games against Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Georgia.
Wow.
And that's a physical stretch.
Must-win ball game.
You just can't let your guard down.
No.
If you want to go to a great bowl game, that's different. If you want to go to the college football playoff, because we don't even know if 10-2 will do it.
No.
So there's not a lot left to screw up here on the way out. Your toughest game is Georgia at home. Your second toughest game is at LSU or Oklahoma at home. Your third toughest game is almost a push between at South Carolina and at Oklahoma.
Is it?
At
Yeah,
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
My bad. I just had Oklahoma in another spot. At South Carolina or at Arkansas. I think they're, pretty much the same, although Arkansas has a better QB right now. I don't know what's going to happen with Lenoris Sellers. And then fourth would be Florida, and then you got Mississippi State. So, and I don't know if Billy Napier will be the coach by the time you play in Gainesville. So that, and they don't really have anybody on that staff that they can name head coach because they just don't have some kind of like veteran. I guess they got Ron Roberts or whatever. He was at Auburn and Delta State, and some other spots, but I don't know. I don't know what you would do there if you. Who does Florida play this weekend? Is he going to get fired? Oh God,
Who is it?
they play Central Florida.
Oh no, they're gonna get run.
So Central Florida just got smoked by Colorado.
They did.
And that game's in Gainesville. And okay. I did not. Central Florida at Florida this weekend. Billy can't.
Oh my gosh,
He can't drop that because just where he is, but optics, and the fact that Prime and Shador went in there and beat Central Florida.
Yeah.
So
if he dropped that ball game, they would burn him on the way out at this stage. That'd be.
It's in Gainesville.
I know. He'd get carried out of there.
What's the game of the week in the conference? Is it Missouri at Texas A&M or Ole Miss at South Carolina? Tennessee at Arkansas. Arkansas's coming off a brutal This is back to back to back. How about this? Arkansas has played Auburn, A&M, and now Tennessee. Tennessee just took a week off. I mean, the game's in Arkansas, and things get weird up there. We all know that over the years.
Yep.
They have won games that they're not supposed to win up there. And if you go up there sleepwalking, you'll wake up, and it'll be the start of the fourth quarter, and you're like, damn, we're in a dogfight. I was planning on going ahead and mentally being on the bus, being on the plane, getting back to whatever team that is playing them, and hanging out with, my buddies and a bunch of good-looking girls tonight.
Right.
And all of a sudden you're like, damn, they're hitting hard, and this is not fun, and it's a 3-point game, and I got to turn it back on, which we know in sports is virtually impossible.
Right.
Once you kind of check, I think Ole Miss went down and scored last weekend and made it look easy, and we're like, this is what we've done the last 4 weeks.
Here we go.
And all these people are in the stadium, and they've told us how awesome we are. Well, I'm just thinking about going to the Square. And Kentucky was like, yeah, we're a problem. We're not that good, but we're going to muck this thing up, and we're tough as hell, and we're going to keep hitting. And then all of a sudden they woke up at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and they're like, what is going on here? This team won't go away. We see that in college football. Pros are different. We see that in college football. Now, Tennessee is nasty up front on defense. So even with the magic that has happened in Fayetteville, but you do know that Tennessee has a top 3 defensive scoring efficiency defense. I mean, they have absolutely mauled people. They're rotating over 10 guys on the defensive line.
Dang. Okay.
I know we talk about Heupel and offense, and offense wins in the regular season, but defense still, I know, it still wins championships. Who won last year? Michigan. Bo, they were high-flying offense. They weren't. They were good. Their defense was unreal. Unbelievable. Georgia, back-to-back years, they were unbelievable. It still wins in December, just like in the NFL, it wins in January. When they let the DBs do more and fight more at the line of scrimmage and all that stuff and hold the receivers more, it still means, and I'm telling you, Tennessee's top 3 right now, defensive scoring efficiency. We're going to have Dave Bartu coming up at 9:30. Crazy Pills is back from his elk hunting trip. Show me the money. Show me the money. Coming up at 9:30 with Dave Bartu. Diamond Dave on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line at 9:30 today. This is ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I am your host, Bo Bounds. Good morning. Welcome in. We got some good audio on the other side. this weekend because these guys are world-class athletes, but it looked like an ankle, and you just don't ever know. I mean, when it comes to cutting and everything else, right? Weight-bearing injuries are not awesome. I mean, we're even seeing that with the Cowboys, with Micah and DeMarcus. It doesn't matter. I mean, so this is Lane Kiffin talking about Bentley, and, you know, he's kind of, well, he's Lane.
And so it's nothing against Bentley, it just is how it is, but I can't predict how the future's going to go.
I don't know. Let's drop that again. The Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Breakfast this morning brought to you by Burgers, Blues Barbecue in Flowood and Dogwood. B3 is now in Dogwood. And they have the honey butter chicken biscuit, the chicken and waffles, and the brisket and scrambled eggs, all at Burgers, Blues Barbecue, Dogwood, Flowood. This is Lane Kiffin talking about Bentley.
And so it's nothing against Bentley, it just is how it is, but I can't predict how the future's going to go.
He can't predict how the future is going to go. So evidently he's in the doghouse.
Yes.
And he can't get out. And Judkins is not there anymore. You know, Judkins could make your offensive line look better because if you just gave him a little bit of space, he could break tackles because the guy is a grown man.
He toed it.
Yeah. Now he's wearing a Buckeyes uniform. You know Lane wants to get that running game going against South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Lane's had a ton of success running the football since he's been there. Early with Matt Corral, Jerrion Ely, Snoop Connor, among others.
Yeah.
As of late with Judkins and Dart. Right? Henry Parrish Jr. was there, went to Miami's back. Matt Jones, I don't know if that's a legit SEC back. Doubt it. So what else do you have? You signed a ton of players there.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like you picked up a running back every third week in the portal. Do y'all remember what Bud Elliott said over the summer? He's with 247 Sports. He's a Florida State guy, but he covers college football like we do. And he said on his show, he said, we're going to see if this hired mercenary approach works in the portal. He said, my team, Florida State and Ole Miss, can this work? Now, Ole Miss isn't Florida State. Florida State is in shambles. Ole Miss actually has a quarterback. Florida State's been playing DJ Uiagalelei, and now he's hurt, so he's out. Of course, people asked why Norvell stayed with him as long as he did. Maybe it was because they paid him so much.
Yep.
I'm not sure. Maybe that's gonna happen. Coaches are gonna feel obligated when you drop $750,000 plus $1 million for a quarterback from Oregon State. He was at Clemson, and you just keep playing him, and you're like, and maybe there's nobody behind him, but you're like, why is he playing? He's not, he's not good enough. And Tom Luganville talked about it in the spring and summer on this show. You could tell he didn't have anything against him personally, but he doesn't think DJ Uiagalelei is a big-time Power 4 quarterback. And from the jump this year, Florida State they spent all this money. They landed an unbelievable portal class. They just got run out of the stadium by SMU. Now, a lot of that's because I went over to Dallas this summer and had Casey Woods on the show, their offensive coordinator, because that's just what happens.
Magic.
Gardner Minshew comes in studio, ends up being a starting quarterback for the NFL. Brent Rooker comes in studio, ends up making the all-star team for the A's, and has 38 bombs, 39 bombs for the A's this year. Okay? This, it just goes on and on.
Yeah. It's part of it. Did Renfro come in here before he hit the...
he did.
Yeah, before his...
and his Kansas City Royals are in the postseason. But before he went on his run, Hunter Renfro came in.
That run was so spectacular.
He was yanking balls out of the ballpark.
Yeah, in Petco, that September run.
That's right, when he was at San Diego. He's bounced around to the Red Sox, Royals. I may have missed a team.
Golly.
Padres, Red Sox, Royals. I may have missed the team.
It's definitely 100% the top 5 September call up.
Yeah.
Because the kid, he got up there and raked.
Right.
He hit 8 bombs in 11 games or something like that. And was planting them on top of on top of all the stuff out in Petco. You're just hearing aluminum dings. Yeah, that was pretty cool. He came out with a vengeance.
Yeah. No doubt.
It was actually pretty cool to watch.
You like that? You got excited?
I did. It was just cool, man. Well, I knew him prior to that. He's a good buddy who's who grew up with him out there in Crystal Springs.
Now say that again.
Crystal Springs.
Love it.
That's where it's at out there. They got it going on.
Evidently, he's got a beautiful, beautiful farm and piece of property that where he lives in the off season. Good for him, man.
He loves it.
That's a pretty area down there.
He is so Mississippi.
Oh, no doubt.
It is incredible.
Hunting, fishing, baseball.
And that's that.
A great guy.
Don't need nothing else
when
on
he
it.
Came in studio, he was great. DeMario Davis ends up being a star, comes in studio, has never played for the Saints. He's a star.
What do you know?
Governor Tate Reeves comes in studio, wins re-election.
He's welcome.
What else can we do on this show?
So basically what you're saying is that if you need a boost, this is where you come.
This is where you come into the studio, hang out, and have fun.
Infectious.
How were those wings yesterday at Aplos?
They were thick.
Fabulous.
They were thick. They were good wings.
Yeah.
They were. It was hot, man. It's just so hard to pick there now. I don't know what to do anymore. See, I had it down. I just go get a pizza and fries. I'd be all right. I'm in. I'm out. Boom, boom, boom.
You're in, you're out.
Yeah, now I got these gyros to pick between. Now I can't decide which gyro to get. Now I can't decide whether I want wings or if I want that Mediterranean corn or if I want.
Oh, yeah, the Mediterranean street corn.
It's just not.
What'd you have yesterday for the gyro?
Shrimp. First time having the shrimp gyro.
Was it?
And that, I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah?
But it wasn't what I was expecting. It was a whole lot better. Because the shrimp was actually good shrimp.
Yeah.
And it kind of, had burst of flavor.
Burst. We'll have to tell Alex.
Juicy shrimp.
Aplos. He's coming in today. Hang out with us.
Those shrimp were also thick.
Ooh.
They were good. They were thick, juicy.
Ooh.
Two of my favorite words.
All right. Well, that endorsement was brought to you by Jackson Meadows and Aplos in the Renaissance and Aplos in Highland Village. Wonderful place to eat and drink. And they'll cater your next partay. Right? We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Want to let you know before we drop this Kirby Smart audio that the place to be this football season is the Beau Rivage Resort and Casino. BetMGM Book Bar and Grill. State-of-the-art sports book lounge is the Southeast's premier destination for high energy, entertainment, and betting, featuring dozens of HD TVs, including a giant LED video wall. Center focal bar with comfortable flex back seating, 35 video poker machines, and a large 5-window sports betting counter. There's no better place to be in bet. MGM Resorts International offers GameSense information to its patrons to encourage responsible gaming at mgmresorts.com/GameSense. We're live in the BankPlus Studio, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Looked like Georgia was going to get blown out on Saturday, and then they came. I give that team credit and that staff. They came rip-roaring back. This is what Kirby Smart had to say to his Georgia football team after that close loss to Bama.
I have never in my life been more proud of guys competing for 60 minutes of the game over and over and over and over. We said in the second half, we got to win more moments than them. 1 moment short. 1 moment short. But I want every one of you to think about how you feel right now. Think about how you feel right now. Okay? Right now, how you feel. Because how you respond to this tells me everything about who you are. But you know what? We better get better. Team on 3. I love every one of you, man. You're fighters. You're fighters. Team on 3. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
They're going to be a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all can say what you want about Saturday night. They're going to be a problem. I understand that, they weren't on their game in the first half, and Bama gets up 28-0, and we're all going, what? I mean, I said it over and over. WTH.
Yeah.
WTH. What's going on? And they responded. That's a winning program. They've won 2 national championships, played for another one, been in big games. Now, look, they got a tough road.
Sure.
They got to go to Texas. They got to go to Ole Miss, and they host Tennessee. They have to win 2 of those 3. They are a 10-2 team because of their schedule.
Ooh.
They will get in.
Oh, yeah.
They played at Bama. They will play at Texas. They will play at Ole Miss, and they will host Tennessee.
Cool.
If they go 10-2, they're in. Not everybody will be. There will not be enough. This is kind of something that I think of in life. There will not be enough tickets to the VIP party for everybody. It's just part of it. Not everybody gets to hang out behind the ropes. But Georgia, we'll see. At Texas, at Ole Miss, Tennessee at home.
Yeah, ain't dropping a game.
So they got Auburn this weekend back home. So they get to get back home in the friendly confines of Athens, Georgia. All right. Then they play Mississippi State, and we know that Mississippi State is in a total rebuild. Then they go to Austin, Texas. And if you think that the hotel rooms and Airbnb will be expensive, holy moly. October 19th. Then they take a week off, and they play at the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, Florida and Jacksonville. And I've been to that game, and it is magnificent. Had no idea that you could throw a college football game on a neutral site and it'd be that much fun. Then they play Ole Miss in Oxford. Then they come back and play Tennessee in Athens. Then they play UMass, and then they play Georgia Tech. So, they've got some game. They're good. They showed what they could do. They came back and, they scored.
Yeah.
And look, holy moly, if the 17-year-old freshman doesn't make a freaky play, Georgia wins the game.
Simple as that. Ryan Williams.
How about that?
That's correct.
After being down 28-0. So you can count them out. Now, they can't make it at 9-3. So they can only lose one more game out of those 3. At Texas, at Ole Miss, Tennessee at home. They're going to have to figure it out. Long way to go. What will Bama be challenged? Oh, goodness. They got to go to Bama has to go to Knoxville.
Too bad. It's too late. They're rolling. Doesn't matter.
They got to go to Baton Rouge, and they got to go to Norman. Wow, Bama and Georgia are going to be challenged. Georgia's is worse, but Bama's got some games here that are at Tennessee, at LSU, at Oklahoma.
Yeah, they ain't dropping any of them. I don't know if they're losing a ball game. They're good. They are a very, very, very good team.
You don't have them?
No, Lord no.
Well, I think they could go 11-1. They're still absolutely in, and
yeah, sure.
Everything's good.
Could they get in at 10-2?
Yes.
Okay.
With those games at Tennessee,
Right.
at LSU, at Oklahoma, and have play in Georgia,
yeah,
their strength of schedule will be just fine. That Georgia win is going to be a top 25 win. The Tennessee, if they beat Tennessee, that'll be a top 25 win. So you have to look at your schedule and ask yourself, how many top 25 wins can you get?
Yeah.
College Football Playoff Committee loves those top 25 wins.
They're like top 25 wins at that time or top 25 wins at the end of the year, like where the team finishes.
Well, they like it throughout the College Football Playoff rankings, which will kick in here in 2 weeks?
2 weeks?
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
Man,
What?
I don't know how. Bama's not losing any of those games. They're not going to lose those games. LSU doesn't stand a shot in Bath.
Are you worried about Bama this weekend going to Nashville?
Absolutely not. Nashville?
Yeah. I was messing with you.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, are they? Yeah, okay. No, I don't know how in the world they're dropping a game if they have got to be called off guard.
What in the hell? Minus 23. Bama's laying 23 against Vandy.
Ain't enough. That is not enough. Sometimes, I get the whole, it's hard to get up and get back to that we're playing Georgia this week. I know you're still playing Vandy, and that's not anything near it, but it doesn't matter. The wheels are rolling, baby. Tide's going. You ain't stopping that thing. He's going to, DeBoer will be coach of the year. Milroe will win a Heisman, and they're going to finish number one, and they'll probably win it all. They're the best team in the nation by far.
Well, I don't know. No, I don't agree with that.
You think Texas is there?
No, I don't think Georgia. No. There's not a best. There's 5 teams.
Okay.
There's not a best team in the nation by far right now. You are correct. Bama and Georgia are tier 1.
Okay, yeah.
Tier 1A is Ohio State,
Right.
Tennessee, and Texas. There's 5 teams that I'm intrigued by. And then the others are going to have to show me.
Is Tennessee
but tier
really
1
there?
is Georgia and Bama.
Yeah.
And not tier 2, but tier 1A is Ohio State, Tennessee, and Texas. Those are good football teams.
I can hear the Ohio State to an extent. I can hear the Texas. So the Tennessee deal, they've got you sold. They're in.
No, I'm not saying they're in because I just read that Tennessee has to play Bama and Georgia. But Tennessee,
10-2 Tennessee team.
I think they're going to get that win at Norman is going to be good for them.
Yeah.
And they play, unless they trip up against Arkansas or Florida or Kentucky, they're not going to do. No, look what they've got outside of Bama and Georgia. Arkansas, Florida, Kentucky, Mississippi State, UTEP, and Vandy. They've got the second best defensive scoring efficiency numbers right now. They're nasty. We'll see if Arkansas can move the football. That was kind of an ugly game, A&M and Arkansas this weekend.
Tennessee, Arkansas is not winning a pretty game. That game's got to be ugly if they plan on winning it.
Tennessee's coming off a week off.
Yeah.
Now, they say you don't want that September bye, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right.
QB1 on the text line.
What does he say?
I think UGA beats Texas bad. Maybe it's just me, but I think Texas is overrated. I feel him. And maybe that's my disdain for Texas, but I feel him.
I don't think so. I think they're a different team without Quinn. And when he gets back next weekend, I think y'all are going to be back and understand how good Texas is. You watch Texas. This is natural for us. You watch Texas sleepwalk through the Mississippi State game last weekend.
Sure.
Plus, Arch Manning didn't look that good.
No.
And Quinn Ewers is better right now today. Now, what they'll be in 5 years, I don't know nor care.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this year. With Quinn Ewers, I think you and the texter are wrong. Texas is legit, and they can play.
They ain't beat nobody.
How many teams have?
That's a good point. They have beat Michigan. I get that, but
At
you're
Michigan,
right. You're right.
Tell me how many. There are some teams that have loaded the boat early, like Bama got a great win. Tennessee went to Norman. That's not easy. I don't care. All these Oklahomas and Michigans, they have athletes. They may not be going to the college football playoff, but they have players. It's a physical game. You have to they have fast, speed, physical players. So the whole who have they beat? They went on the road to Michigan and won. Southern Cal couldn't do it.
That's a good point.
And Michigan can't throw a forward pass, and Southern Cal couldn't do it. Michigan does not have a quarterback that can throw from here to that bar over there where that Patron Añejo bottle is, which isn't even 10 yards.
How in the world?
They can't. It's like Ed Ogeron and Sylvester Croom in 2005. They don't believe in the forward pass. If Mike Leach was coaching Michigan, they'd be 10 times better.
Yeah.
Because they got some dudes on defense. They just spray it around. Who have they beat? The hell are you talking about?
Nobody. Michigan ain't any good either. They'll be out of the top 15 at the end of the year.
Well, that's not, but they have players.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah.
You can't
there.
sleepwalk and beat Oklahoma or Michigan.
That's right.
Even though Michigan is, God, awful on, let's see what Michigan is right here.
Yeah, they don't.
Oh, they play Will Rogers this weekend.
Hey.
All right, so Michigan goes to Washington. Washington's laying 2.5.
Really?
And at Washington. And Will Rogers against the Michigan Wolverines. Now, Michigan can't throw a forward pass. How will this game look?
Wait.
That's in Seattle.
Okay.
Interesting. And let me get the stats for the year on Michigan passing. Let's see. Davis Warren is 48 of 72 for 444 yards. There we go. For a 6.2 yard average per pass. The backup is 3.7 yards per pass.
Slinging the rock.
So that's what they're looking at. They're pretty damn good on defense. What will Will Rogers and Washington do against the Michigan Wolverines at home this weekend?
They're laying.
They're hosting Michigan, and they're laying 2.5 points.
Ooh, Michigan. That's not a bad look.
What's the game going to be? 13 to 8?
Yeah, the under.
I mean, what are we looking at in that game? Oh, let me give you the total.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
This is going to be delicious.
It can't be over 45. 48.
41.5.
No way.
So we're looking at 14-9.
Oh, my God.
I'm kidding. I mean, it could be 21-17. I don't know if it'll get that high. Will's thrown for 1,400 yards and 10 TDs, but let me tell you who they played. All right. So they played Weber State.
Nice.
Eastern Michigan.
Heck yeah.
Washington State, and lost.
Yeah.
Northwestern, who's awful. And they lost to Rutgers. I didn't realize that.
They may not get to 41. That is
all right,
absurd.
so what is it, the first team to 17?
Wins, that's it.
Or is it the first team to 14 between Michigan and Washington
probably
this
14.
weekend? Okay.
Yeah, probably 14.
The total's 41.5. Diamond Dave's going to tell you who to bet on this weekend. Yes, he is. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're brought to you by Brant Watson, United Country Southern States Realty. Call him today if you're looking to buy some hunting land. Brant Watson, United Country Southern States Realty.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
You ready?
Let's go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now live in the BankPlus Studio, where college football meets the all lifestyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is
The Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds, streaming around the world live at the Out of Bounds radio app and on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
Where are you?
The Zone.
You know who I ran into yesterday? I was at a get-together yesterday afternoon, celebrating a business that had moved to a new spot and so on. And so there was a little meet and greet. I ran into JC from the Briar Patch. I look over, I'm like, Jonathan Carlin, what's up, baby? He's on the team at the Briar Patch in Livingston. Wonderful place to hang out. Super, super cool. One of my favorite bars and establishments in the Southeast in the SEC footprint. Wonderful craft cocktails and cool vibe and cool atmosphere and really, really good food. All at the Briar Patch in Livingston. And I will have to get there sooner than later. Last time I was there, Big Mike made me one of the most unbelievable cheeseburgers I've ever had. And Brian Eisenhood mixed us up a Patron Paloma, which was delicious. Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Good morning. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. We have Diamond Dave Bartu coming up at 9:30. Before that, we'll have Alex Eaton with Aplos. He'll hang out with us and tell us what's going on there. I took Jackson Meadows there yesterday, and well, because I'm a great guy.
It's really
and I bought you lunch.
That. Yeah, simple as that.
And we had a Stella Artois and some wings.
It was a, yeah, I mean, what a better day. I'm not sure there was a better day to have a Stella and wings. It was perfect. It was a beautiful day outside.
Oh, it was.
Felt great.
Fabulous. I just walked outside to grab something out of the car, and the weather was nice.
We got, what, 2 weeks of this?
I hope so.
3
well,
weeks.
I need it to be a little cooler.
Yeah.
Just a little cooler.
It was nice.
10 degrees, and then we're rolling.
I think I figured out how I'm going to start approaching my Aplos frequencies.
Okay. What you got?
Then we'll rotate the Euros. I'm going to go rotate it, and then I'm going to slide a pizza in every like 3 or 4 Euros.
You can get on the Euro rotation.
I like that. The Euro rotation.
Powered by Aplos.
The Euro rotate, yeah, I'm in that.
Okay.
I can deal with that.
And you can kind of be you can be the brand ambassador guy for the Euro.
Well,
you'd been going with the grilled chicken, right?
Right. Grilled chicken was the move.
And then you went shrimp yesterday.
Right. Went steak for a couple weeks, but
you have gotten the steak.
going with steak. I hadn't had the original.
Okay.
And I
it's
knew,
fabulous. I got it to go once, and Wendy and I split it.
It
was great.
I mean, a good original Euro, good original lamb. That's I can do that.
So you can do any of them.
Yeah. I just need to try the Euro one.
What are we looking at Saturday, my man? High of 84 here.
Yeah, that's Euro. And
low of 66. That's pretty good. That means it gets a little cooler.
Well, you know what that is, right?
Ooh, next week.
It's fair.
It's getting down in the 70s is the high. I like that.
Fair weather.
So you want to go let's talk about that.
I got to go.
Out of Bounds 105.9 The Zone ESPN, brought to you by mssmarthomes.com. Jake Manning will install the Sonos surround sound system in your house, and you can control it all from your phone. I love it. Sporting events, music, movies, all powered by the Sonos surround sound system. mssmarthomes.com. Mississippi Smart Homes. Jake Manning is the dude. We have it in our living room, kitchen, and I've got it in my man room, and I love both. Whether I'm watching the Masters, football, listening to Spotify, or Wendy and I were watching Tulsa Kings last night. You know, I told you I broke up with all the platforms.
Back.
Well, only because Wendy was like able to put me right on. She was like, they have a new episode out.
Yeah.
And I said, great. All I have to do is sit down and watch it. That's great. But I broke up with Netflix, Amazon Prime, HBO, and everything else because it's football season.
Yeah.
I can't do, and I got to do a little bit of MLB postseason.
Yeah.
Okay? And so I can't do anything else unless Wendy's like, here's what's on. I'll turn on the TV. You don't have to do anything. I'm like, perfect. This is great. All right, let's talk about the over-under on your stomach aches.
Oh.
So you eat fair food, which is putting your life in danger.
Inhale it.
And what's your number one favorite fair food?
Past 3-ish years, fried Oreos.
Holy hell, that is a stomach ache.
They're so
I
good.
wouldn't touch that.
They are wildly good. I don't understand how it happens.
How big is it?
I
mean, like
3 Oreos. No. You get like a little 6-pack. So it's an
you
Oreo piece that are breaded and fried.
Okay.
And with
it's like in a little box?
Funnel cake type deal. Yeah, like a little
or a plate.
Dishes. Yeah, a little dish plate, whatever you want to call it.
They don't have any dishes down there, brother.
Nah.
Okay. So you're either getting a paper plate or some kind of wax paper or some kind of something. Yeah.
And it's the funnel cake breading.
I thought you were going to funnel the Oreo. Go ahead.
And that will happen as well. It's the funnel cake breading around the Oreo with a little funnel of dust, the sugar that they put on there. So, I mean, it takes my original, which was funnel cakes, because that's all. I'd go and I had to have funnel cake. That was the number one thing when I was growing up. So that way I could get it all over my shirt, all over my face. I wouldn't leave that thing without funnel cake all over me.
But number one is the fried Oreo.
Because it has funnel cakes in there and Oreos.
Oh, it's a combo.
So you take the best of both worlds.
Okay, so number one, but when you were little, it was funnel cake.
It was, yes.
All right, so now what's number two?
I love caramel apple. No, it's turkey legs.
Turkey legs?
Turkey legs number one. Yeah, I forgot about the turkey legs.
That would never, ever pass a food inspection.
Absolutely not. And if it did, I wouldn't eat it. If it did, it wouldn't be at the fair.
I got you.
It shouldn't be.
Gotcha.
That turkey leg is obviously bigger than my arm. And you just grab one and you're good to go.
That's natural.
Yeah, you're walking around and it's gonna be.
That's not shot up with all kinds of hell. I can't say what I want. But
You're telling me that isn't right off the turkey?
No.
Oh, come on.
I'd love to know the people that are cooking that.
Me too.
All right, so one is your Oreo, fried Oreo.
Yeah.
Do you eat both of them while you're there?
Yes. And I go back. Me and my dad usually go at least one time for lunch. We've always gone, whether we get a cinnamon roll, because they have really good cinnamon rolls, or we used to go eat Pins over there all the time, because the Pins one, it was always really good. But now it's free biscuits, because the biscuits are incredible.
Free biscuits?
Yeah, you get free biscuits.
Just randomly, or you have to like order some other food?
No, there's a biscuit stand.
I haven't been in 15 years.
That biscuit stand, that's a Mississippi family.
I mean, I'd go down there and drink a beer.
They have, they have the
if they had an
taffy
ice cold
stand.
Budweiser, I'll go down there and drink an ice cold Budweiser and people watch, and then I got content for the show.
Well, the Budweiser tent was the
Oh, well, then I'm
staple.
going.
That was
Get me a wristband. I'll go to the Budweiser tent and people watch.
I've seen Kansas in the Budweiser tent.
Now, Kansas is awesome.
They got the Oak Ridge Boys this weekend.
They're awesome.
I love it. I'll go see the Oak Ridge Boys.
We need to get you some bands. Maybe Christiana has some.
Oh, yeah, I feel confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
We got to get you in the fair.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten in,
And that way you can eat and tell us about it. And if you get a stomach ache, or the runs, you can tell us about it.
Well,
right?
That's gonna. It's the fair.
I mean that you're a gastro whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, GI and other dream.
I'm gonna put up numbers at the fair.
You're gonna put up numbers?
Absolutely.
As far as Oreo, fried
Prizes
Oreos, and turkey legs and cinnamon
prizes,
rolls?
Yes, heck yeah. I'm gonna win bunches of prizes.
And you don't even care if you feel bad later.
No, it's the fair. It's a part of the experience.
All right, Diamond Dave Bartu, handicapper to the gods at 9:30 on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We should have Alex Eaton with Aplos coming up next. Good morning, welcome in on a Wednesday.
Young. 9.
All right, we are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Good morning, welcome in. The Alexi with Aplos in the Renaissance and Aplos in Highland Village. We were talking about how Jackson and I were there yesterday. And Jackson's going to go on a, what'd you say, a Euro rotation?
A year rotation.
Yeah, a Euro rotation. He's been through all of them except your regular lamb Euro.
Okay. Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Been doing good. Doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah. 3 kids and 2 restaurants keeps you pretty wide open.
How old are your kids?
10, 8, and 5. And we got that serious baseball in 2 of them. Boy Scout campouts, football. So
You're busy.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when moms used to do all the practices, and now it's like a bunch of dads doing it. So, I don't know how that happened.
Times have changed.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how that happened
dads
either.
are all out there at 4 o'clock now. So,
Isn't that amazing?
yeah, I don't know how it happened, but I'm here for it.
All right. So, what's your favorite gyro at your place? I know you've eaten a million of them, but we were going over the lamb, the chicken, the shrimp. What was the other one that you had? Steak.
Yeah, I'd have to split it in 2. It's kind of, my dad's basically a pilgrim, as white dude as they come. So I like that just steak and cheese, you know, just that ribeye steak gyro. And then I got the chicken shawarma on the other side, which represents my mom. I went to Lebanon and ate chicken shawarma for 5 days, which probably wouldn't want to go there this week to do that. But, so I like the chicken shawarma and I like the ribeye.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really don't eat any of them. I get the plates.
Oh, do you?
I like the plate.
What's your favorite plate?
The roasted chicken plate, sub-roasted vegetables.
The dude beside us to my left at the bar yesterday got that.
Yeah, sub-roasted vegetables for the rice, no bread.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
sounds healthy.
You kind of just it eventually all starts melding together and makes this just unbelievable. And you feel good when you get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, go play golf with Bo Bounds after.
There you go. We smashed some wings to start off the lunch.
Okay.
And had a couple of Stellas.
Wings are expensive. We don't make any money on that, so quit eating. Quit eating them.
All right, go back to Peter Moss.
Yeah, that's right.
The Aplos Trio.
Yeah.
All right, what are y'all doing? Some music on Thursday nights?
Yeah,
What's going on?
We're trying to our courtyards, as you know, or green spaces have always been like a real kid centric. Kids everywhere. So we kind of started taming that a little bit in Renaissance. The shopping center put some more tables out, but I was watching some security footage they showed me of parents just dropping off busloads of kids, and the parents were like going to Kate and Kessler Prime, and we're just turning into this babysitter. So, but what we're trying to do, we got a lot of stuff going on at both locations. But in Jackson specifically, we built this new expansion of the bar, and we kind of wanted to highlight that. And we're doing live music. We're going to try every Thursday in October.
Every Thursday.
We're going to do, trying to get college kids in and maybe that crowd that likes their live music. I think it's the Lonely Hearts Duo is playing tomorrow, and we're doing, $7 drinks. We're going to do a special boozy frozen drinks.
Nice.
We got a Satsuma margarita.
Ooh.
And we're doing maybe a wine special, but then we're doing some little mini gyros.
Now
I got
that's
Christian
cool.
with me today. You can call them gyro tacos for him.
I like that.
I love it.
I like
But
that
those
a
are
lot.
$5. We're gonna do just some $5 specials.
Heck yeah.
Get the live music going. See how it works. Get that shopping. The patio looking real good.
Well,
And then in Renaissance,
do you see Jackson's jacket?
Yeah.
He's got to lead the
Oh,
way
yeah,
on your
you gotta
Thursday
be there.
night music.
You got to be there.
Yeah, I can manage that. That's right beside the house.
And then in Ridgeland this weekend is the car show, and we're starting off with that with doing an event for BMW on Thursday, and they've got like all kinds of events that they kind of pop up at Lee Michaels and different things in the area.
That's where I need to be.
Yeah, and
Jewelry shopping.
so that's going on, and then we actually just put in motorized enclosures on both patios to kind of try to keep all y'all there in the colder months and the rainy months.
Trap them in.
So,
Boom.
Yeah.
Alex Eaton with Aplos. I didn't know he was going to have this much to go over. This is awesome. We hadn't had him on since March.
Yeah.
And so they've got live music going on Thursdays. They're going to have drink specials. They're going to do like sliders,
Yeah,
but
that's
mini
what it is.
Euros, which I think is brilliant.
Love that.
Is Christian leading the way on this?
He is.
Love it.
Well, he tried to. I took over, but now I'm actually going down to South Florida tomorrow, so I had to throw it back on him at the finish line. That comes with the territory.
You were just in Austin, Texas.
Yeah. We went to me and Christian and Justin went to there for a restaurant summit just to kind of hear about all the operators across the country, what they're dealing with, which is essentially what we're dealing with.
Okay.
Just kind of
A think
what's
tank.
going on. Yeah, what's going on? How do we fix it? What are
Right.
people wanting?
Right.
They're saying,
I think you figured it out. Every time I walk in Aplos, there's a lot of people there.
yeah,
So we had our Patron party there a few weeks ago, and we had a blast.
yeah. The millennials is probably what you're seeing. All the millennials, which is myself included, all they care about is where they can take their kids to drink.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, I think
And so I think we
you've
nailed
got that.
Yeah. And you said y'all now allowing buses to drop kids
Yeah,
off.
and then
That's awesome.
Now we're trying to figure out this new Gen Z crowd, which apparently they drink less, have less sex, and I don't know.
That sounds terrible.
It's a weird generation.
I'm glad I'm
coming
not
up.
that in that
They
generation.
like non-alcoholic cocktails. And,
What?
Yeah,
Huh?
they're all
That's
trying
not-
to be healthy.
Is that how old are you, Alex?
So that
39.
Okay, I didn't even think you were that old.
I didn't-
You're 33 in December, so you're still 32.
So are you Gen Z, bro?
No, God.
No, he's with
Ease
you.
up, ease up.
Okay, yeah.
Simmer
Christian?
down.
I'm on the upper half.
How old are you? He doesn't look 43 either.
He's
so
40, you're 43.
yeah, I
No
figured
way.
both of you guys were around 35, so you guys are living right.
No doubt.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah, eat apples every day. That's
I mean,
the key.
look, I sent him home with the pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, I think.
So Christian's my body double. So like that, people always think I'm at the restaurant one way or the other.
So good.
I figured all the politicians are doing it.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
All right, we got one. We'll bring you back in a few weeks. You're a traveling man, but let's go over it again because this is fun.
Yeah.
All right, you got live music going on Thursday nights
Yeah, in Jackson.
in Jackson. You got drink specials,
Right.
which is fun.
Yep.
We want people to check out, and you got these mini Euros, which I just think sounds awesome.
Yeah, and if those work out good and we like them, we'll start doing them. On like maybe a Tuesday night mini, sampler night.
Boom.
Yeah,
Okay.
3 of them.
That way you can do your what was it, a
My
E-rotation,
E-rotation.
and not break the bank.
Like the E-rotation a lot.
Yeah, I like that. We might actually. I'm going to steal that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. I like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
It's the E-rotation.
But yeah, so then also Renaissance always has done a good job of their events. They've got the car show, they got the symphony, they got
absolutely.
I mean, they got it going. So we really don't have to really step in that much with all they got going on. Highland Village, they're from out of town. We love them, but they're up in Boston, and they kind of just say like, if y'all want to do something, do it. So
Do it.
we're gonna do it.
All right, let's wrap it up with this. I hosted 40 or 45 people, and y'all catered it for me out at our clubhouse. Catering, y'all can handle just about
Yeah,
anything.
we do. So all custom catering we do out of our Jackson location.
Yeah.
And then we are also located on Easy Cater, which is basically like the DoorDash for caterers. It's simple. You sign up on the app, push a button. A lot of people from out of town use it just because they don't care.
Right.
They don't want to deal with a catering director. They just want to get on their app, medical community, and just ship off boxes. So.
Go see Alex Eaton and Christian and Ryan, the new general manager of Aplos and the Renaissance. Go see them tomorrow night. They've got live music, Aplos at Highland Village, And then, of course, Aplos and the Renaissance, they're doing all kinds of fun drink specials and food specials. Back in a second. The Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And we've got Show Me the Money, brought to you by Pearl River Resort and the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook and Lounge. Award-winning Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. Bet 50, play 40. World-class golf. We'll be there Friday. Let's go ahead and give away a room night and 2 rounds of golf to Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and a gift certificate to Mom and M's. I like that. Via the text line, your favorite, what do you want to do? Your favorite fair food? Yeah. Or the one that you don't like. Either one. For Jackson Meadows, it's a fried Oreo, which got some funnel cake in it, evidently. And sounds like a big old stomach ache, but we'll see. Favorite fair food via the text line 601-885-3776, driven by your next John Deere tractor from any Ag Up equipment dealership in the state of Mississippi. agup.com. agup.com. All right. Dave Bartu joins us on the Farm Bureau.
Turned off. You know what you need. Because you got to somehow make that paper, right?
Hey, show me the money!
You come to the right place for that. Because it's time for Bo Bounds to
Show me the money!
show you the...
All right. Diamond Dave Bartu's taking some crazy pills. He's back from elk hunting. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Dave Bartu, what's up, buddy?
Dude, favorite fair food? Now, question: do you guys have a gin and tonic booth at your fair?
No.
Because if you do, that's where. Okay, so then I'll default to the elephant ear.
You're like me. Do you have a Tito's and club soda? No. Okay, well then I guess I'll take something. I love it. I love it. Do you have a gin and tonic booth? Oh.
Yeah, give me the elephant ear then.
Elephant.
If I can't get a double T&T, baby.
Hey, do y'all have a fair near you? Do you still go, or did you leave that years ago once your kids grew up?
I like going. See, I was a 4-H kid growing up. You know, I know you're shocked, right? High school was High school was 11 miles away for me. So you know, I grew up raised on our own protein, canning our own food, all that stuff. So you know, the fair, you know, the fair was part of my life for, you know, from as little as I can remember. You know, and the fair basically for me, the fair is like band camp. You know, I mean, parents drop all of these teenagers off at the fair with tents and hang out there with your animals and each other for a week. And yeah, I mean, it was band camp. So no, the fair, everything about it, I'm pretty cool with it, man.
That is awesome. Where you're kind of out from Portland, what is, how far is the closest fair to you? I mean, what is the proximity?
Yeah, the county fair is probably 15 minutes from here, 17, you know, within 20. State Fair in Salem's about an hour and a half.
Okay.
So, you know, so yeah, that was a big part of my life when I was, you know, a kid. Yes, I do have I'm sure Mom has a shoebox full of red, white, and blue ribbons from all sorts of fair entries for me when I was a kid.
Okay. All right. Dave Bartu, 4-H Club, and enjoyed the fair growing up. He joined Diamond Dave, now turned handicapper to the stars. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. So parents out there, if your kid's in 4-H, you can know that they'll eventually become a handicapper, and I think that is one hell of a profession. Okay, so let's start with Ole Miss at South Carolina, Bartu.
I'm staying away from this right away. I mean, without even looking. No, I mean, dude. I mean, I'm up in. I'm what? I'm at 6,000 feet, and you're texting me, dude, Kentucky, dude, Oxford, holy crap, you know. And so, from a mental standpoint, right? I think from a mental standpoint, what are we going to get out of Ole Miss this week? We know South Carolina's going to be jacked up for it, but is Ole Miss going to bounce off of this or sink off of this, right? And not only is it 18 to 22-year-olds, but now you have 18 to 22-year-olds that are being paid and are being paid no matter whether you win or lose. And you have 18 to 22-year-olds, if you're heavy into the transfer portal, how many of the guys that haven't been there forever care, right? And so from an emotional standpoint, and I'm not saying Ole Miss is out of it, not by any stretch, but from an emotional standpoint, I can't even think about betting on this game, no matter what the numbers say. Okay, so that's just my take right there. Now, when you look at the numbers, you got South Carolina is a 9-point dog at home. The total's 53.5. And looking at the numbers, the worst unit on the field is South Carolina offense, South Carolina defense. Ole Miss is still 5th in total scoring efficiency on defense, 14th on offense. So, by those numbers, it leans heavy towards Ole Miss. I slightly lean over on the 53.5, but with that Ole Miss defense, I think it's always underrated with Pete Golding there because you have Lane as the offensive coordinator. But that 53.5 is also right in the middle. So there's two things there that just take me off this game entirely.
Okay. So Ole Miss has the better staff. Ole Miss has
they got the better staff,
more talent,
better talent, right? Yep.
Out of South Carolina defensive, they're coming off a bye, so they haven't played as many games as a lot of teams, as you know, Bartu. But South Carolina, do you have their offensive and defensive scoring efficiency numbers? You mentioned Ole Miss is really good.
Yeah, defensively they're at 63. Offensively, they're at 28. Now I threw out the FCS games. Okay, we're through 5 weeks, so I've thrown out all the FCS games and gotten rid of that. So I still don't really know exactly who South Carolina is. But offensively, look, they've scored points. I still don't know. I mean, so far, I think you'd agree one of the top 10 greatest wonders of the season so far is 31-6 South Carolina at Kentucky. Now, how the heck did that happen? Right. That was just a tidal wave of a trap game, it seems like to me. But then you turn around and they scored a ton on LSU. Wait a minute, we've been saying that for
2
17
years
weeks now, right? I mean, since last year. I mean, LSU's defensive scoring efficiency is 91st. Last year at this time, it was 98.
Good Lord, LSU.
What the hell's in the water at Baton Rouge? Okay, yeah. So that's a little side note right off the top of my head. You know how I like chasing different paths here, but with South Carolina, 63rd on defense. So the defense so far has been the weakness there. But Ole Miss is still incredibly balanced offensively and defensively. I just, like I said, emotionally, I don't know what's going to show up, right? This is where the transfer portal really scares me, is the psychological part of losing. Because if you're heavily dependent on guys that are just looking for the next payday, do they shut down when the going gets tough? Because they're getting paid either way. Right? Ole Miss can lose out, and every transfer guy that they got in free agency, they're stroking the check, dude. It don't matter, right? It's guaranteed pay for a lot of these guys. And so that's the emotional side of sports betting with college football now that frightens me, because we don't have really any data on it to decide, okay, how much does this affect these guys mentally?
Diamond Day Bartu, handicapper to the stars, brought to you by Pearl River Resort. He joins us on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. He does not like this game as far as betting it whatsoever. I think he's fascinated in how it will play out and what could happen, considering who and what both teams are. Ole Miss, better coaching staff. Ole Miss, better talent. It's in South Carolina. All right. Auburn at Georgia. God, Jekyll and Hyde Auburn's giving away games. I don't think they're a bad football team at all.
No,
Auburn
I don't think they're minus 24.5 either. Do you think they're 24-point dogs?
Yeah, no, I don't think that they're minus 24-point dogs, even though Georgia's coming off playing Bama, and this is in Athens. So which way would you go with it? Also, the total is 53.5 again.
Right. Which makes me want to. One of the things I'm going to do for you, dude. I'm going to take a look at scoring this year versus last year, because I'm seeing a lot of 53.5s. It used to be 55.5 was the middle. Now it's down to 53.5, and I'm wondering if the new clock numbers are just tweaking the needle to lower scoring totals. But here's another emotional game, right? Georgia on the road, down to Bama, up to Bama, lose to Bama, the physicality of that whole football game. And now you have a 2-3 Auburn coming in, kind of a dangerous game here, in my opinion. Just from the standpoint of, Georgia offensively hasn't entirely figured it out, I would say, this year. But Auburn's Jekyll and Hyde too. In terms of betting this game, I lean under on the 53.5. I like that direction because I think both defenses are right now better than both offenses. Georgia's tough because they've played arguably the toughest schedule in college football season to date. So I expect them to just get better going forward.
Oh, that's a good point, Bart. Hold on. Bartu's just hit on something. Georgia's played Clemson on a neutral site, at Kentucky, and at Bama. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Bartu.
Dude, right? I mean, you face the Clemson defense, right? Which isn't that good, but they destroyed the Clemson offense, which has just been putting up points. And then you got Brad White, and then you have the Alabama defense. So it's tough to gauge Georgia in terms of where they're going to be at the end of the year because the schedule's been so front loaded. But Auburn, I'm taking the points in this ball game. And this is the psychological side. I think Georgia this is going to be kind of a trap game, a downer, right? They're going to go out, they're going to win the football game, but you look up at the scoreboard and you go, oh, Auburn, they're 2-3, they just lost. Auburn is a really easy team to overlook for Georgia this week. I think it's really easy to overlook, especially coming off the Alabama game.
I'll take.
And I don't know who does Georgia have next week? Can Jackson look that up real quick? You look that up real quick?
Yeah, I've got it right here.
And I lean the under 50.
Mississippi State, the Mighty Bulldogs of Mississippi State, 2024.
Oh, yeah, not a tough game. So, in this football game, though, I'll take Auburn plus 24.
Okay.
And I lean under 23.5 in this.
Okay.
Game.
All right, Dave Bartu, Diamond Dave on the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN, brought to you by, he's on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line, and the show is presented by Spring Street Cigars in Starkville, Oxford, Hattiesburg, and the other locations. Bartu, let's go Tennessee. God, Arkansas is on a brutal run. Auburn, A&M, and now Tennessee. Tennessee at Arkansas. Tennessee laying 13.5, and the total's 59.5. Bartu.
Dude, do you know who Tennessee is? I mean, is this team as real as it looks? Because right now they're number 1 in scoring efficiency defense, they're number 4 in scoring efficiency offense. And I know listeners are going, they ain't gonna play nobody. Yeah, I know, but those are still impressive, very, very, very impressive numbers through 5 weeks. But Arkansas, it has been playing tough football. Their numbers aren't anywhere near Tennessee. But what I circled yesterday when I was going through the numbers, because I started with all the SEC games, and I don't really have a lean in either one of these because, Tennessee is 4 on offense, 1 on defense. Arkansas is 68 on defense, 36 on offense. So Petrino's doing a real good job offensively there. So I don't have a strong lean in this one. If I had to lean something, I'm leaning over 59.5, right? If we're at the timeout lounge and Dave, go bet $20, I'll put 10 on over 59.5 because the strength in this game is offense. And I'll put Tennessee minus 13.5 because you look at these numbers and Tennessee is just, why not walk with the devil instead of stand in front of them? Until Tennessee shows me really who they might be, I'm just going to assume they're going to be that good, and I'll lay the 13.5 points, but not comfortably.
All right. He'll lay the 13.5, but not comfortably. Let's go Michigan at Washington, and Washington is laying 2.5, and the total is 41.5. Bartu.
Washington laying 2.5, or is Michigan laying 2.5? Who's the favorite there?
Washington. They're laying 2.5.
Washington's favorite over Michigan?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. And the total, what did you say? 42.5?
41.5.
Oh, God. So low. Defensive football game, though. 29th and 34th in defensive scoring efficiency this year for these two teams. Okay? Michigan's defense, obviously, just the players alone carried over from Michigan very well. Washington, Steve Belichick now he still has dad in the house. But Steve, in his 3 years as a DC at New England, was the number 3 defensive coordinator for scoring efficiency in the NFL. This guy really knows how to call a defense. I don't believe Jed Fish can really call an offense. And so I think this is going to be a really big defensive game. Offensively, it's number 80 Washington, number 56 Michigan. If I can get points in this, I got better talent, right? So I got better talent, and I have better defense, and I got a better offense, and I'm getting 2.5 points. Heck, if Michigan's favored by 2.5, I'll lay the 2.5. So I really like picking up 2.5 points with Michigan on the road. 41.5 is tight. Anybody out there, if you're doing your own numbers, if you're leaning under, the performance right now leans under in this game as well. So I personally wouldn't bet it, but just for your own personal due diligence, if you're on the under, the numbers back that up.
Ooh. Diamond Dave Bartu on the Out of Bounds Show, brought to you by Pearl River Resort, handicapper to the gods. We're going through the games this week. We've still got time. Ooh, we don't have a lot of time. We got to get Bartu's bangers in. All right, so I need about a minute here, and then we got to do Bartu's bangers.
I'm going to crash your show tomorrow. No, I'm going to crash your show tomorrow.
Oh, even better. All right, Missouri and A&M real quick, and then we'll do Bartu's bangers.
With Missouri at A&M, look, A&M's offensive scoring efficiency is 92nd. They're not producing any points, but Missouri's defense is only 56. I think these two teams, I hate to use the word, but I know fans love it. I kind of think these two might be a little fraudish. I don't think they're that good, and so it's 48.5 point total. Both defenses are better than both offenses. So I like under 48.5. As for who's going to win this game, A&M's favored by 2.5 here, but their performance is pretty even to Missouri so far this year. I'm going with the home team talent. Let's get rid of the points. Let's make it a 1-point game, right? Like 24-23 A&M money line in that football game.
Ooh, all right. You may not have your Bartu's bangers yet, so do you want to just hit another game or two on the way out?
No, I'll give you 2 bets.
Okay.
That I like this week
because people
in the SEC, because there's 2 more
are
games
enjoying this.
We didn't hit on. Yeah, like there's 2 more games that we didn't hit on. So Florida and UCF, dude. How about UCF just crapping the bed at home last week against Colorado? That's like double negative coach effect, losing to Pat Shermer and Dion.
Double negative coach effect.
Yeah, dude, it's terrible. But look at UCF. UCF against FBS competition this year is 95th in scoring efficiency, dude.
Yikes.
95th. They are terrible. Florida's 31st. Defensively, they're about the same, 58 and 45. So I get Florida in the swamp with better talent and better performance so far this year. I'm taking Florida plus 2.5 at home against UCF. The total 61.5, I don't trust that either. UCF at 95th 5th in scoring efficiency so far this year. They only put 21 up against Colorado. Hell, Nebraska put 28 up in the first half. How bad you got to be only put 21 up against Colorado or whatever the final score was? But it wasn't very good. So I like Florida at home plus 2.5. And you got Alabama at Vanderbilt. Now, obviously, you've got Georgia hangover to be considered here, right? But you have the number one scoring efficiency offense in all of college football in Alabama going up against the 90th defense. Alabama's going to hit the 55.5 on their own. Okay? But here's the other thing I like with it, though. Bama's defense is number 7. But Vanderbilt's offense, since making an offensive coordinator change, Beck's doing a great job. Vanderbilt's 26. So we got number 1 and number 26 offense in the country, and the number 7 and number 90 defense. So I think you and I can see Alabama throwing up a 50 bagel on this thing.
Yeah.
All by themselves. But I think Vanderbilt's offense is really good. And all we need out of them is 14 points, 20 points.
Right.
Right? You think about it. If you get 14 out of Vanderbilt, that means you need 42 out of Alabama. Mm-hmm. Right? And you and I can go, number 1 offense versus 90th defense could be 42-14 at halftime. So of all the SEC games, that I really like to bet on right now, it's those two. I like Florida plus 2.5, and I like Alabama, Vanderbilt over 55.5.
Boom. Bar 2's Bangers. Brought to you by an ice-cold Budweiser and wings at Martin's in Livingston. Love you, buddy. Glad you went elk hunting and had a great time.
Yeah, it was good. I'll crash your party tomorrow with 5 minutes of picks right at the end. Okay.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Be good, man. Make sure to yell at somebody later today. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Woo, we're driven by your next Ford Explorer and Ford Bronco from Mack Hike Ford, I-55 North in Jackson. Don't forget that Justin Waite at Mack Hike Ford wants to buy your car. He'll come to you. You need to sell your car. You don't have time. You're at work. He does this all the time. Justin Waite at Mack Hike Ford will come to your office or your home and tell you what they will buy your vehicle for. Justin Waite, Mack Hike Ford, will buy your vehicle this week. We'll see you tomorrow.